So if you're stuck and trying to figure out why you can't get the results that you want, this may be why. I'm going to be talking about something called learned helplessness. Most people don't know that they have learned helplessness, but I'm going to show you how to figure out whether you have this pattern of behavior that is stopping you from achieving the results that you really want in your own life. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because someone asked me the other day about this pattern, and they said, what are your thoughts on this idea of learned helplessness? So learned helplessness is an idea in psychology. Someone starts to feel helpless after they've tried something multiple times and it hasn't worked. And so for a lot of people out there, they just naturally give up on things really, really quickly. And so let's say that someone has been brought up in a lower or lower middle class family. They've watched their parents struggle with money. And then now they've gone out, they've got a career. They might be working in a field where they've gone to university, they've got this good education, and now they're struggling to pay their bills. They can't figure out why they can't get ahead. They've followed all the right things that they've been told to do, which might be by people in the lower to lower middle class. So they just keep doing what everybody else does. And now they're stuck. They're frustrated, they're stressed out. And so they create this learned helplessness where this individual just sits there and goes, you know what, maybe I just wasn't meant to be wealthy. They make up excuses as to why they can't get ahead. What will happen in learned helplessness is even if they're presented with an alternative option, they will still disagree with it because it clashes against the beliefs that they currently have about that topic. So if you go up to the person who is struggling financially and you say to them, you're managing your money incorrectly, they've got a lifetime of beliefs that suggest otherwise. So they were taught by their parents that you save money in order to spend money. Their parents have taught them that people in the share market just rip people off and you're going to lose your money. And so now they're bottlenecked, they're gridlocked, they don't know what to do. And so because of that, you can present them with new ideas and you'll come along, you might say, hey, look, it's probably a good time to invest in shares. And then it brings up this emotion, it triggers this emotion. And then now they're feeling uncomfortable and they go, yeah, but you can lose all your money in the share market. Not really, not if you look at it statistically. So even when people are presented with an alternative view, they can still feel uncomfortable and go back to doing what they know because of this idea of learned helplessness. They've tried these other things and they haven't worked before in the past. So now they just become helpless or hopeless. And they would say things like, I know that I need to change, but, and then they drop the but. And it might be like, you know what, I just need to go home and talk to my partner about doing something like this. What they're really saying is, I'm scared shitless to make a decision because of my beliefs and my fears. I'm stuck where I am now, but I don't know how to change. And I want someone else to make a decision for me. Because if I make a decision and I'm wrong, then I'm going to feel like shit about myself. So they go into, again, this idea of learned helplessness where they don't make a decision. That's a mild case. A real bad case of learned helplessness was where you see people that just throw up their hands and they go, oh, well, you know, it is just what it is. That's someone who has that really bad learned behavior of learned helplessness. But learned helplessness happens quite a lot in our society, way more than what most people think. And if you're not achieving the results that you want in life, you've probably lost that self-efficacy where you can go and think, how can I make this happen? How can I get the results that I want? What normally happens though with learned helplessness is that they've tried something a couple of times or they've tried something multiple times and then they can't figure out how to get through it. So then they just give up on it. Now this can be related to things like depression and so on as well. So people start to become depressed the more they have this idea of learned helplessness. If you've been stuck in a certain situation, like people in an intimate relationship where they've been with their partner, they may have some kids and then their partner just gives them shit all the time. They can't do what they want to do because they know that they're going to get in trouble. So then they just have this learned helplessness where they just go, oh, I better just do what she says because, or I better just do what he says because it's better than getting in an argument. That's learned helplessness. That's because you're a shitty communicator. Both you and your partner haven't worked on communication. You haven't had an honest conversation or honest communication about how to navigate challenging conversations within a relationship. Now that's going to cause that learned helplessness where both parties start to give up on things that they enjoy in life. That's a really, really, really fucking bad idea for someone who every day is getting closer to their death. And when you die, no one's going to give a shit. Like within 1 or 2 generations, no one's going to even remember you. Your legacy is irrelevant. You've got to start living today and you've got to start doing things that you need to do. But you've definitely got to spot those areas of learned helplessness and then bust through them and make sure you're asking better questions. Part of the reason why people have this idea of learned helplessness is that they don't know how to ask good questions. Instead of someone saying, how can I find the money to do what I want to do? Most people just go, I don't have the money. So they're giving a statement which essentially shuts down the thinking capacity of the brain. And so then they just shut everything off. You know, that whole idea of, well, I better just do what he or she says in a relationship. When you do that, your brain just goes to sleep. And so then you just ignore the fact that your communication is poor, that you don't have a good connection with your partner, that they don't understand you and your value structure. And so because of that, you don't want to have a conflict because you're going to conflict against values. You know, if your intimate partner has a high value on financial stability, yet you have a high value on experiences, you want to work so that you can go out and have fun and enjoy life. They're going to work hard so they can have financial stability and safety. Those two things are going to clash. One person is going to want to go out and have fun and do cool stuff. The other person's not going to want to spend money. So if you don't navigate that conversation and say, well, how do we both get what we want out of this? And then what does it look like? Like, how do I work and feel like I'm having these fun experiences and the other person feels safe? Like, what's the investment strategy here? How do we do it? How do we both enjoy life? Because we are going to die one day and there's no point in having a ton of cash in the bank if we're not actually enjoying the life that we've created. By avoiding those conversations, you will fall into that pattern of learned helplessness in your relationship where you'll just blame the other person, or you'll just complain about them, or you just completely shut down. That is not a good idea for a great life. Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.